Hey guys, this is Steve, the mild and lazy guy. Have you figured out yet why I call myself the mild and lazy guy? If you haven't, I'm going to just put the kibosh on that and talk about it in another episode. How about that? So this is going to be a fairly quick one today. I want to circle back to my last video, which is simply that I bought one of these guys about a week ago. It is the DJI Osmo Action. Brand new action camera from DJI. You know DJI from all kinds of great things. The Mavic Pro drone, which is it produces, the Mavic Pro 2 really produces some of the most amazing aerial footage I've seen from anything. It's unbelievable that we can get that kind of point of view, that kind of spectacular footage with a Hasselblad camera in it for that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money, so I don't have one, but maybe someday. What a great tool. What an amazing thing. DJI has also produced the small little Osmo, the DJI Osmo, which is this little kind of almost like a small camera on a gimbal. Stabilized, does some great things. This is, to my knowledge, their first foray into the action cam market. It is definitely, in my consideration, a GoPro killer. I bought this because I have a specific problem that I'm going to address in the video today. I got one simply to put on my motorcycle. I'm doing this big trip in August. You're here hopefully because you want to see how I get ready for it, and maybe even follow along on the journey. I bought this because I want to be able to put a camera on the front of my bike and record when I want to. I absolutely hate this genre of moto vlogging where people put their camera on their helmet. It's got the bad fisheye warp in it. They're looking around, they're talking, they're checking their left and their right. It's making me nauseous as I watch it. I don't want that. I've been wanting some other solution to it. And when I saw the preview videos for this little camera, I freaked out and I had to have one. But from my last video that I did a couple of quick tests, just walking and trying to see how the stabilization worked. The big test for me was how well does it handle a very, very shaky, vibrating motorcycle? How does it deal with that? That's a big concern because the technology most of these cameras use, anything that's got a chip in it and is under a certain level of cost, has what we call a rolling shutter. And you may be familiar with a lot of the different effects that a rolling shutter can bring. I believe this one has one too. The biggest problem is that a bad, cheap rolling shutter on a camera causes the footage to turn to jello and do this if it's vibrating, if the camera's vibrating. It's a pretty tall order to ask for someone to build a camera with the kind of stabilization that will eliminate that right off the bat. I wanted to know if this camera could do that. So here's the test. I got two bikes. I've got my Ducati, which is it's pretty stable bike, and I've got a mount placed on one of my bark busters on a handlebar. Pretty vibration-free zone, right? Here is some footage that I shot just this last week in a big, huge motorcycle rally that takes place every Memorial Day called Rolling Thunder. I rode in that first time, last time, Here's some footage of that spectacular ride into town. Look at how smooth this is. I've been able to get pretty good results using a cheap Chinese GoPro knockoff on this bike. It's pretty vibration free, but this is crazy. This is spectacular. This looks like somebody stuck a dang Steadicam on the front of my bike. I really can't believe the results that it produced. So that's what I got when I put it on my kind of good quality, L-twin vibration-free, relatively vibration-free bike. That's cool. The real test was going to be what happens when I ride with this camera on my Royal Enfield Himalayan. Now, you may know this bike. You may know that it is it's kind of a game changer in the adventure market. You know that a lot of us, want to ride these big, 1200 BMW bikes, that are really, you've got to have quite a bit of skill to ride them in general. To do the kind of tricks and stunts that people do just getting around trails and stuff blows my mind. I'm not up to that kind of riding skill just yet. Maybe someday. Royal Enfield actually created this brand or this model out of a desire to make kind of a new class of adventure bike. So it's great for off-road. It's only like 25 horsepower, but it's got 25 foot-pounds of torque. I find it to be really at home at about 30 miles an hour on a dirt road. It just rides great. Easy to stand up on, easy to wiggle around and around obstacles. Pretty cool bike in general. It's got a single cylinder. And generally that means that it's going to vibrate. They put a counterbalancer in it, so they've helped that out a lot. I still find that it vibrates pretty strongly. Now, I did something fairly stupid when I was first putting my little Chinese knockoff camera on the bike. I stuck a mount on the windscreen, thinking that maybe the windscreen itself would dampen the vibration and it would be less of a problem. Absolutely the opposite. It made the vibration much worse. It just absolutely just shakes, rattles, and rolls. So therefore, the test for me was, what is this footage going to look like when this camera, this wonderful little stabilized shake-free camera, what's going to happen when this guy is put on the front of that bike? It's time to cut to that footage, and I want to see what you think of the footage that I got with this camera. Stuck on the windshield, vibrating like this, even faster. Give it a look. Kids, I'm absolutely blown away. I think I'm not going to look any further. I think this is the game changer for me. This is the go-to. This is the camera I'm going to take with me to India in August. This is the one that I'm going to document this you know, we all have these trips of our lifetime. This is a freaking trip of my lifetime. We're going to document it with this guy and the Sony that I'm using right now to shoot this video. I'm thinking about getting an iPad Pro to edit with. I've also already purchased a WD My Passport Pro, Wireless Pro hard drive that also has some really cool features. I may do a video about that too. There's plenty of them out there. I think you should check it out. But trying to come up with a really good battery-powered workflow for my, you know, old school brain, it's a little bit challenging. It's kind of fun. I like the challenge. But I'm thinking about using all of that stuff to create some content while I'm out on the road. This thing, though, even if I didn't want to try to create content, if I just wanted to document my trip and have it as home movies for later, whoo, yeah, this is amazing. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you haven't, if you're sitting on the fence about whether you want to buy one of these or a GoPro Hero 7, you know, they're both great. They're both amazing. I'm really glad I bought this one. And I hope that maybe this video helps you make the decision. So please remember, if this has been helpful to you, like and subscribe. And Google loves to, you know, YouTube loves it when you press that little the little bell there, so that this content is delivered to you directly. It really helps with the metrics, and I hope you'll do that. I'm gonna try to post something about every week, maybe more, maybe less. But I'm going to be bringing you along as I get ready for this trip, because I know that you're probably planning a big adventure too, and you would like to have some good information and a little bit of help along the way. Thank you. It's Steve, the Mild and Lazy Guy. Check you later.